Four men killed in alleged confrontation with police in St. Catherine. Four men were killed in an alleged confrontation with police in Lindsay, St. Catherine late Wednesday. Reporters understand that the four men were suspects in an early shooting incident in Gleisel in the parish that left one person dead and another injured. The men were reportedly intercepted by police on the Linstead bypass while making their escape from the early shooting incident. It is alleged that the men opened fire on the police and a shootout ensued during which the suspects were killed. The Independent Commission of Investigation has launched a probe into the incident. Reporters will have more information on this developing story as it becomes available. Schools to resume next week out west, says Education Minister. Some schools in hurricane-ravaged western Jamaica will resume classes next week, relying on blend-off shift system and makeshift tents, as needed, to get students back to the business of learning, according to Education Minister Dr. Maurice Dixon. The focus will initially be on those taking exams, she said, noting that Cornwall College is among schools set to resume classes, joining Mount Alvernia High, which welcomed back some of its exam-taking cohort Wednesday. We're working to get schools back. Cornwall College is going to get some students back on Monday. Most of the high schools in the region are working on it, and so the focus for high schools is on those doing CSEC and CAPE, Maurice Dixon told reporters following a tour of schools in Trelawney and St. James Wednesday. And then for primary schools, it is those doing PEP, so that's what we're prioritizing, getting those children back in school so that they cannot miss out too much on the classes that they need to do well in their exams, she continued. On Wednesday, 144 out of Mount Alvernia High's 263 exam-taking students made it to school. The Education Minister's Region Director for the Region 4, Dr. Michelle Pinnock, explained that some of the students may have been temporarily placed at other schools in order to minimize disruption in their studies. Wednesday's tour by Maurice Dixon and members of her team was an effort to determine the level of destruction wrought by the storm and steps being taken to meet recovery. Maurice Dixon also outlined a basic framework of the approach being taken by her team. The ministry is going to support as best as we can to get temporary structures up. Schools like Cornwall College and many others that I've been to today need tents. We're going to have to use tents to supplement the classroom space that we will be having available, she noted. We'll also be looking at some other, more semi-perimeter structures, too, in the ministry, but all of those you'll hear a lot more about later, added the minister. Maurice Dixon encouraged resilience. Some schools we're going to have some students in some days and not others, something like a shift system. Some will be mornings, some will be evenings, so there is going to be a lot of flexibility that is required, she further explained. The minister conceded that it will be tough for schools in St. James and Trelawney to get back to normal. I know we speak about many parishes being affected, but Trelawney and St. James really do have a significant damage, and today we are concentrating on those two parishes, she noted. You see classrooms completely gone, structures with no roof. It is bad in many of our schools, she added. Looking long-term, she hinted at changes in the way schools are built, utilizing more of the slab roof methods. Last year, some of the schools that I went to were affected by Hurricane Beryl, and we spent millions of dollars fixing them. And then this year, we're back at it again, Maurice Dixon pointed out. That's not providing value for money for our country, and we have to have our schools be in a condition that means that they can continue to operate even when there's a natural disaster like Hurricane Melissa. We can't just put band-aids on it. I'm not in the band-aids. It has to be a completely different look at our schools. We have to reimagine our schools, she added. She used the tour as an opportunity to thank local staff and stakeholders who have put in the work needed so that schools, which are able to resume next week, will do so. I have to thank all the leadership of the schools. It's hard. It's hard going into the communities. There's no water, there's no electricity, but they're still out, she added. They are trying their best to get schools open, and so the entire country owes them a debt of gratitude, and we thank them, she added. New payment rates for truck water contractors to be published this weekend. New payment rates for truck water contractors should be publicized by this weekend. The update came from Dr. Campbell Francis, Vice President of Operations at the National Water Commission, while responding to questions from members of Parliament's Infrastructure and Physical Development Committee. The committee was during presentation from various utility companies about the impact of Hurricane Melissa on the country's infrastructure. The issue of truck water was raised by a committee member who lamented that getting contractors to agree to take truck water to residents whose pipes supply has been disrupted is a challenge due to payment issues. In response, Dr. Campbell Francis said increased rates would be published soon. As it relates to efficiency in payment, Committee Chair Heroy Clark noted that this is due to the procurement issue and the matter will be tackled soon.
Yes, member. We have been looking at adjusting the rates. So yes, the rates will be adjusted for the persons in the critical areas, for the trucking rates, both for what we sell and what our private truckers will deliver on our behalf, because we understand that challenge. The new rates are not yet published, but for this period, the rates will be reconsidered.
Because we're in this critical period right now, how early those announcements will be made that at least the $2 million that was allocated to Northwest Clarendon, the 3 trucks that they asked us to identify, the 3 trucks turned it down because of the rate.
The new rates will be settled by this weekend.
The new rates will be published this week. Mm-hmm. And you're confident, Dr. Campbell Francis, that these new rates will be satisfactory to market, to the truckers?
I will not be able to say that. I cannot say. Yes.
Okay. Would you be able to say the level of increase? 5%,
no, not yet.
Not yet.
But we will announce the increase by the weekend.
A member Azan has asked me to ask you about payment, because he's saying that the contractors are saying that sometimes, we know the processes. It just wondering if they've been more efficient with the payment of these contractors.
Part of that situation, member, is something that we'll be looking at in the nearest future where procurement is concerned, because I take it that it has a lot to do with procurement and payments. So we'll be looking at that further from now.
Small businesses in Portland struggle after Hurricane Melissa. Small business owners across Portland are facing a confluence of setbacks in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. Pauline, a shop and bar owner of Seaview in the northeastern parish, who also operates an oil-making business, said her 3 sources of income have been impacted, pointing to the ongoing power outages since Melissa made landfall on October 28 as the most challenging issue. Every day I have to buy ice to keep the things cool, Pauline told reporters, lamenting the additional expenses caused by a lack of electricity. She also explained that she has lost out on revenue due to the loss of coconut she used to make the coconut oil. I use the dry coconut to do my business, like to make boiled oil, virgin oil, so I lose off that because I would get the dry ones to boil my oils, she noted. Winsome Cowan, a shopkeeper operator in Hart Hill, said her operations have also been affected by the lack of electricity. My little business a setback because I have to buy ice every day to put drinks on, she said. Cowan explained that she would normally buy fries and chicken by the bag and store them, but now she must purchase small portions due to lack of refrigeration. That don't work out. You're just doing something to be doing something, she said, expressing frustration with trying to keep her business afloat. Meanwhile, Carlin Simmet, an ice maker of Hart Street, she said she was forced to give away her produce for free after losing power. Without a generator, she said the business has been extremely difficult. Portland was spared the worst, but business operators such as Jacinto's, who sell clothes from the back of his truck, are feeling the pinch of general downturn in economic activity since the storm as residents focus on recovery. Not only has it affected his sales, it has also negatively impacted his receivables, he noted. They do not have it, and even if they have it, I can't dictate to say, pay me, because I also get damage. And so I use my sympathy to understand what a next person is facing, Jacinto stated. Despite the slowdown, he remains optimistic. A little thing catch on now and then, not much in comparison to what I'm used to, but we give thanks and take it because we understand what takes place, he added, noting that he had made 3 sales from the morning. A fruit vendor also reported slow business, saying that with ATM machines down, customers are unable to withdraw money. Still, he remains determined to see it through and keep trying. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.